Blanchard is a Christian management consultant. I've told you these principles work in business as well. He's got a fantastic model called situational leadership. And it's basically the same model, only in a different way that he's put it together, more applicable to a business context. All right, and so he has 4 stages, and I'll just kind of touch on those because this is what I've used in business. I just view management and business as discipleship. All right, I'm trying to help people get better. And so we need to establish that I'm going to be giving you feedback, and we're going to have a relationship, and we're going to have open conversations about how do we get better. All right, and so let's just establish that from day one, and then that relationship's just off and running. All right, what his brilliance of this model is the person who's the manager should change their behavior in developing the person as the person develops. In other words, each stage of development requires a different type of behavior from the person doing the training. Does that make sense? All right, and I found this true with a small group as well. So when an employee begins, they're what he calls, and we have it here in the notes, an enthusiastic beginner. All right, this person probably doesn't know hardly anything about their job, but they think they do, so they're overconfident. They're an overly enthusiastic beginner. And so the manager needs to be directive. Do this, by the way, don't do that. Don't ever want to see that one again, all right? Yeah, that's a lot of what we're going to do here. All right, so you're being directive to this person. Some people like the style. What I found is most people, managers, make the mistake on 2 ends here. They're either overly directive or they're overly empowering, and they're unwilling to go on that journey. All right, the control freak manager wants to direct every little detail. They're never going to multiply. All right, the lazy manager just wants to give it to them, yeah, whatever. All right, and those are the 2 human mistakes we make. But the work is in the middle. All right. The work then becomes, we coach the disillusioned learner. After the enthusiastic beginner begins to realize, maybe I don't know what I don't know, they can get disillusioned. They can actually crash emotionally. All right, now they don't know their job, and they know they don't know their job. All right, before they didn't know their job, but they thought they were everything. All right, now they know, man, I don't know nothing, and I'm, all right, and so we coach that person. This is their most teachable moment. All right, this is Matt. He got to that point where he was the disillusioned learner. All right, he was the most coachable because he had failed. All right, and so this is a great time to really pour into the person. But the coach is not being directive now. The coach is getting them back on their feet. The coach is teaching them to walk. The coach is engaging them in the activities they need to engage in. But then as this continues, they become the cautious contributor. They're actually doing their job really, really well. They just don't know it yet, because they still emotionally haven't caught up to their behaviors. Their behaviors are now trending in the right way. They're actually starting to demonstrate their abilities, all right? But emotionally, they quite aren't seeing themselves as that way yet. And so now the manager moves to more of a supportive level. You got this. Great, you can come on in if a talk helps you, but man, I'm telling you, I really like what I see. This is the kind of behavior you need to do. In fact, you blew me away on this one. I was kind of expecting this. You went way beyond what I thought you could do. Way to go. All right, and it moves a little bit more now into encouragement and reinforcing the good that's coming out, the changes that are happening. You're wanting to help these new behaviors begin to take root in the employee's performance. In this case, in a Summit Connect group leader, apprentice of performance. And then the joy is, once they're fully trained, he has a great way for them, or what he calls them, the self-directed peak performer. All right, and this is someone who's fully trained. And so with these people, we delegate to them. All right, and then the leader's job is to coordinate and bring alignment to all the various functions of their team of fully developed peak performers. Isn't that great? And so that's the secret that I've found in taking these principles that I've learned in the church, in the small group context, in the multiplication context, and bringing them into the marketplace. These 2 tools have been the thing that I've spent the majority of my leadership time with these 2 principles. I'm not pulling your leg. It's not been more complicated than this. And we've seen some pretty amazing things happen in terms of leadership development.